So it's a week into the maiden voyage and it feels like a month. So much has happened. It's been raining and raining and raining, so I'm sat on the floor in my van and it's about time I do a little update because I haven't done very much filming in the last week. It's been more about driving, testing the van, making sure everything works, and touch wood, everything's gone perfectly. Nothing has failed. The interior of the van is perfect. Nothing's cracked, nothing's moved. The only thing that has happened is this door has become a little bit sticky. So when I get home, I'm just gonna slice a little bit off the bottom so it moves freely again. My dad joined me for the first week, which was really nice just to have a little bit of support to assess certain situations because we did get ourselves into some tricky situations. Our dad was sleeping in a real ghetto tent. Yeah, he didn't have a great week of sleep. It was raining so much, his tent just got wet. The mission was really to firstly test the van, make sure everything works, sort out any teething problems, and then be able to sell the van with peace of mind, you know, didn't blow ourselves up with a gas or something. And it really does. The shower is performing really well. The van has driven like a dream. And the other mission was to go fishing. So we wanted to try and catch a salmon or trout on one of the big rivers in Wales. We headed for the Upper Wye and it was the most spectacular river you've ever seen in your life. It was just, it could have been Canada or Alaska, and parts of it could have been the Okavango Delta. It was just huge, pristine, beautiful river, and nobody was fishing. We were alone. But this was the most exciting day really when we came to the Upper Wye because we couldn't find parking close to the river. Eventually we found this parking down this embankment, but it was a very steep hill. The van managed fine down the hill, that wasn't the problem, but when we got to the bottom we realized there was no way that we were going to turn the van around in there. Then it started raining that night and we had insane thunderstorms. That whole embankment became so wet there was no chance of us reversing out either. We had to stay there the night and we stayed there all the next day. We're fishing, didn't catch anything. Well, my dad caught a carp, but it's like a cockroach of the river, isn't it? So we had to wait for it to dry out before we could reverse back up the hill. It's starting to rain again. But yeah, the all-terrain tires, super essential. I don't think we would have gotten out of there with the old tires. And then there was this suspension bridge. We spotted it and my dad and I were both like, we've got to take the van over. Like, we need to try and get the van over there and film it. It looks so sick. We drove up to it and there was a sign saying 3 tons max limit. So we were like, maybe a little bit tight. So we were like, okay, we're gonna give it a go. Drove it over once, super tight, but yeah, absolutely fine, no issues. And he drove over again and I filmed it and we got this really, really cool shot. I was really nervous flying the drone again because I'd actually crashed the drone a few weeks ago before I'd even insured it or anything. Then we kept going up the coast. The mission was to go to Snowdonia, which we did. What else happened? We got stuck in the mud once and we needed to tow out. A few days ago, my dad went back to work. We still fished one more time on the lower Tawi. That was a spectacular experience anyway. I'm really confident in the van now. And I had a really nice time with my dad, nice little road trip. Snowdonia was beautiful. Wales in general is stunning, I love it. Now I'm in a place called Fishguard. I thought it wasn't very nice when I first arrived, but I've just taken a coastal walk along the path. There's this inlet just around the corner, this little harbour. It looks like Phuket, like it's stunning. There's loads of sheep, but kind of like British Phuket. Tomorrow I'll be in Ireland and I'll start my journey along the Wild Atlantic Way. I'm on my own now, hope everything goes well. The plan is to just surf, fish, do loads of filming, use the van for what it was intended for, and that was to live in Europe and explore Europe. I'm pretty sad, like I love my van, I don't really want to sell it. I've gotten so many amazing messages since Nate put my video on his channel. Just lovely messages from people saying I've inspired them and telling me their life story and just the loveliest messages. So thank you all so much for the support, I really appreciate that. I didn't think it would blow up like that. Like the feedback has been insane. I'm busy working through my emails. I'm just on the road at the moment. I don't have a lot of internet, but I'll get you messages as soon as I can. I'm looking forward to the next leg of the maiden voyage. Let's see what happens, what adventures lie in store. So, second morning waking up in Fishguard. Just gonna make some breakfast. The ferry goes at 1 o'clock, so I've got loads of time. I could really do with a laundry at some point. I'm getting a bit low on clean clothes. So it's just a 55-mile crossing. I'm not sure what the plan is when I get to that side. Just find somewhere to chill out for the night. So I'm going to see if I can toast this cheese and tomato sandwich. I have a better idea. Good housekeeping is very important in a camper van, I would say, because it's such a small space, and if you let things get dirty and sticky and grimy and wet and damp, it's just gonna get gross in here. I'm a little bit of a neat freak, probably the German in me. I like to keep things tidy, so always cleaning up after myself and always making sure that the shower is dry. The last thing you want in a camper van is mold. So after 10 days, I still have more than half a tank of water left, but 100 liters still. The gas bottle still is basically full. Washing up's been going great, shower's been going great, everything's been working absolutely fine. The fridge is ace. I emptied the toilet once, went to a campsite and it had like a proper facility for emptying it out, and I thought it would be a lot worse than it was, and I just use it for emergencies anyway. Most of the time I go to public toilets, grey water's not full yet and fresh water's not empty yet, so doing really well. Again. Notice how I like hanging out by the life raft. Best place to be.
And prevented homes and businesses in the Brady's Lane area of the town from flooding. Sewerage infrastructure overflowed in the area last night during Storm Ellen. On the roads, most main routes are clear. However, extra care is needed on all secondary routes due to fallen trees and debris. Clean-up efforts are underway in the city centre. Council worker Pat Carter has been clearing debris since 6 a.m.
Probably be able to trees, leaves and everything. I does the city centre and cleaning and picks up rubbish, trees and everything. But there's a bed. Well, last night, the wind.
Basically, Storm Ellen has caused absolute havoc here in Ireland. But yeah, I've seen loads of fallen trees. I actually wanted to go to a different parking spot just down the road, which would have been by a waterfall. But yeah, big fallen tree in the middle of the road. Just stick it out here and wait for the weather to improve, because it's not very nice on the highways at the moment. So it was quite an interesting night, to say the least. The wind gusted at about 50 knots, which is about 90 kilometers an hour. So I figured it's just the same as driving on the highway. Solar panels are fine, but yeah, it was a bit scary, a bit rocky, and then the thunder came in and the lightning came in, so not the best night's sleep. But it's a beautiful morning and it looks like the sun's shining today. The van is absolutely covered in salt, so what I'm going to do is head to, what's it called? So I'm going to head to Kinsale, and I reckon on the way I'll find a service station, and hopefully they've got a car wash. Give the van a little hose down. I also just inflated my tyres a little bit, they lost a bit of pressure. The old head of Kinsale, I thought you could go right up to the tip and see what was going on there, but apparently it's all private land, and I have no idea who owns it, but you're not allowed in there, so it's like a private estate, which is insane. Somebody with some serious coin must own that, because it's like the whole front peninsula and the lighthouse. So yeah, I'm going to find out who actually owns that. I've seen some amazing footage of that point, but yeah, I don't know how you're going to get in there without special permission or flying drone, and up until now Ireland has not allowed me to fly my drone because it's just been way too windy, so it would be a definite death sentence. Yeah, now I'm just going to keep driving along the Wild Atlantic Way, and it's quite interesting, that sign for the Wild Atlantic Way. It's just like, I thought it was just representing like waves, but it actually stands for WAW, which stands for Wild Atlantic Way, and it represents the sea, so pretty cool. And I'm heading west, and I'm not sure where I'm going to end up. I'm just going to keep going. It's a very tight lane here at the moment. Not a lot of people around, so it's good, I guess. Good, is it? Yeah, I guess so. The vibe is kind of poo. It's not so great. C'est la vie. Ooh, tune. Come on, baby, we better make a start. You better make it soon before you break my heart. Been quite a problem with bathrooms actually. So many of them are closed now because of Rona. I've had to use mine, well, every time as an emergency. I just went to the beach bathroom and it was locked, but I think somebody's just gone and unlocked it. My little chemical toilet's almost overflowing. It's like that town where the sewage overflowed because of Storm Ellen. Don't want to be dealing with that, like. I've been to a few holes in my life. In Etosha, it was literally just a hole and had like a little fence around it, but it was open, there were lions. And in Malaysia, also literally holes in the ground, holes. But this Irish hole I just went to, different kind of hole. It looked like a prison, and this is a nice area, but that toilet looked so dodgy. But anyway, I do feel better now. The wind is my only and most loyal companion on this trip. It was a challenging day. I didn't surf in the end. I left that town, and yeah, I don't know, the atmosphere just wasn't very good. People aren't very welcoming. I tried to go to a caravan spot. They said they were full. I don't know, I think it was just because I'm not from around these parts kind of thing. Still in County Cork, I found this parking spot next to a castle overlooking the entire Atlantic Ocean. There's islands, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to stick it out here tonight, go for a little photo mission. I'm very happy by myself, but I think there is some truth to happiness only being real when it's shared. I do wish there was someone there to kind of share it with. I made a little friend. Oh. So I had the best day ever yesterday. In the afternoon I came to this point and I parked next to a castle, no one around, and then this little dog decided to come and join me for the night, and I almost took her home until the farmer came along and claimed her. She was really sweet. I would have so happily taken her along. I'm heading west because west is best. It's something only the sailors will understand. Beautiful. I've just stopped at another point to photograph because it's just so stunning. Less windy today, so that's good, but the farmer said there's another storm coming in. Got this map off of eBay, and it's a road map of Ireland, up to date, but I'm sure it's not up to date, and it was owned by an S. Constantine with a very nice handwriting, and it's a map of Ireland on cloth, and I absolutely love it. That's the Republic of Ireland, and I'm pretty much at the southernmost point now. I've passed Galley Head, I'm close to Baltimore, and then I'm going to keep heading west. Before the storm, so there's another storm coming in tomorrow. Lonely old van, no one around. I'm gonna fly the drone, no one's around, there's no wind, it's a little bit rainy, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm leaving County Cork, West Cork, and I am heading to County Kerry now. She made you cry. Make you break down. Oh, don't leave me here alone. And I'm going to a place called Port Mcgee. It's a very exciting place because off the islands are Skelligs, I think it's called, the Skellig Islands, and that's where they filmed a lot of the Star Wars, and it's these mad islands out in the middle of the ocean. Normally they do tours there, but at the moment you can't go on the island, there's no landings. There used to be monks living on there, and they built like these houses there, thousands of steps going up these jagged cliffs, but I'll find a nice camp spot somewhere to survive this next storm that's coming. County Cork's been interesting, and on to County Kerry. So I'm just driving this mountain pass and it's unbelievable. It's so stunning. Holy shit. So I opened the door almost blew off. I was holding onto the door, it just blew me over. It's so windy.
My sunglasses were damaged.
I have an Arnold Schwarzenegger app. It's hilarious.
Nice to meet you. What's up? Wake up, you drunk f***. My mother, my wife, is f***ing crazy. Who told you you can eat my cookies?
I can highly recommend that app. And yeah, my glasses are broken, so that sucks. Where am I going? So we did Mizenhead, Bantry Bay, Sneem, Waterville, was at the Skellig Bay, Dingle Bay. Last night I stayed at Inch Beach, and yeah, I survived storm number 2, and today there's no wind for a change, so looking a bit better. I just hope the sun comes out, because there have been so many places now that I wanted to photograph and get the drone up, and I just haven't been able to because of the weather. So now I'm on the Dingle Peninsula, and I have a friend who told me there's a nice beach where I can park up, so I'm gonna go check that out. Yeah, let's see what lies in store for today. So I had an interesting few days on the Dingle Peninsula. It was a stunning drive. The weather really started to clear up when I arrived at this beach. It was a beautiful beach, good parking, a few camper vans around, quite a few people actually. The weather sort of broke, the sun came out. That's where they filmed a lot of Star Wars actually. I did a lot of walking and climbing up hills and onto cliffs and taking photographs and so on. So yeah, Dingle was amazing, beautiful drive. And there was also like a medical evacuation at that beach. I don't know why this stuff always happens. Wherever I go, there's like disasters happen. Full on like helicopter, RNLI, Coast Guard, everybody came. And it was quite strange because this person ended up walking up the hill absolutely fine. It was like a massive operation. I think they maybe did a training exercise, but it was like full on helicopter, everything. Cleared the beach out and was quite dramatic. But yeah, so then I carried on driving, and I actually wanted to do Connors Pass, and I'm really annoyed that I didn't go for it, because what happened was I stopped just at the front of Connors Pass and I just had a look online if my van would be alright on there, because there was a big sign that said no camper vans, max limit 2 tons. And then I also asked some people that were just passing, and I asked them would it be alright with the van. They were like, oh no. So kind of had 3 sources that said don't do it. I know a guy in Ireland, a friend of mine, and I asked him and he said no, you could have gone for it, it would have been absolutely fine. But I was already like far away by then, so super annoyed. So if you've got a van like this, you should be absolutely fine on Connors Pass. I had a few disasters yesterday. I couldn't get water at service stations. All the water's locked up. Like, it's bizarre. In Ireland, there's no public bins, there's no public water, there's no public toilets. There are some, but like really hard to find. When I look at South Africa, every beach you go to has camping facilities, has a braai area, has toilets. I'm just very surprised at the UK and Ireland. Very restricted. And if the campsites are closed, it's really tough to kind of find services. And you know, I'm good in the van for about a week, 10 days, but every now and then you need a little, you know, a little bit of water or something, a bit tricky. So eventually I found water at the service station, and the hose just reached my van. Oh, then I had a massive milk spill in my fridge. So yesterday was just not such a great day. Anyway, I've ended up in a place called Tarbet, I think it's called Tarbet, and I stayed the other night. I was really tired, and I made myself a really nice dinner with hake. The fish here is amazing, so I've been eating a lot of hake. I've never seen it in Europe. We eat a lot of hake in South Africa, and I just love it. So hake's on the menu a lot, just really simple with butter and lemon. And now I'm gonna take a little ferry across the Shannon estuary, and I'll be crossing from Kerry into Clare. County Clare, it's my favorite county. I've got a friend actually flying in a few days, my best friend Tasha. So I've only got 2 really good friends actually, and Tasha's one of them, and we grew up together and we've known each other our whole lives, and she's an absolute hoot. She's hilarious, so we're gonna have a fantastic time. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm planning to head to the bridges of Ross, because I want to fly my drone under the arch. That's what I want to do. But every time I've planned to fly my drone to get some epic shots, it hasn't happened. Fingers crossed, things should be improving. The Shannon breeze.
Take the next left towards West End, then slight left. Slight left towards West End and make a U-turn. In 500 meters, make a U-turn.
Found some amazing cliffs and I'm using my Fuji to get some shots, but it's so annoying. It's too windy to fly the drone. Ready for the cliffs of Clare. Spectacular cliffs here, unbelievable. I think I'm just gonna stick around here for a few days, wait for the weather to improve and just, yeah, fly the drone when I can. So I've got a few days now before Tasha arrives and I'm not far from Shannon Airport anyway. So I think that's the plan. I'm just gonna find a sick spot, chill out, and wow, the cliffs here are unbelievable. So we've had a few little damages because I'm driving a little bit more confidently now, a little bit faster around the corners, and it hasn't done my crockery any favor. So this guy has seen better days. And also my picture of my boat, that's fallen down, and one wine glass full of wine was destroyed. Yeah, disaster, and I still haven't found a laundry. So it's lunchtime, just deciding what to make for lunch. Irish meatballs. Decided to go for avo on rice crackers with Irish apple cider vinegar and of course my absolute favorite thing in the world, Kerrygold butter. Unfortunately this one was drowned in milk and the wrapping all came off and it's a bit funky, but it's still good to go. Those are the cliffs of Kilkee and I'm having an amazing lunch with an amazing view, and I might even be able to fly my drone, but I shouldn't say that because literally as soon as I say that the wind picks up. The best shower in the world. So I noticed on the days when I shower, which isn't every day, once in the night while I'm sleeping, my water pump will kick in, which means somewhere it's losing some water. I was really worried it was inside the wall, but it's not. It's coming directly from the hot water outlet. Tonight, so I've just tightened up those clamps, and I'll just keep an eye on that and hopefully that'll sort it out. So I'm in a place called Doonbeg in County Clare, and there's a massive golf course here, and it belongs to Donald Trump. Trumpy! My favorite Trump quote, or my favorite Trump word, is when he called Namibia, Nambia. So I'm in Lahinch, which is a bit of a surf mecca, but you need swell. I'm parked up having some rice crackers with Kerrygold butter, and I'm next to a beach and I'm next to a bridge, and they look very familiar, and I know why they look familiar, because if you watch Jamie O'Brien's YouTube channel, you'll have seen the episode where they went to Ireland, and that's the bridge they jumped off of, and then Poopies was dragged along the river here behind like a horse and cart, which was hilarious. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So that's Poopy's bridge. They jumped off of a moving car, they jumped, and then he got dragged along the water there by a horse. I'm gonna have to end the vlog there because my computer doesn't have any more storage to make the episode any longer, but I think it's long enough anyway. And thank you all so much for watching. So far, so good. It's been an amazing adventure. Take care, everyone, and if you haven't yet done so, then subscribe and give me a like. It'll really help my channel grow and maybe even make some money. So I'm making money again because I haven't made any money in about a year, which isn't good.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad in the